Y'all, wanted to share something with you that I learned from an acorn of all things recently. Last year, I was out on a run when I saw an acorn. It was bigger than what I was normally used to seeing, and so I picked it up, and it sat on my kitchen counter for a couple of weeks, and it wasn't quite sure what to do with it. It was kind of in the way, and so I started to throw it away. And then I realized how closely the acorn is held inside the shell. And it really spoke to me about how closely God holds each one of us. And so I put it on my desk and I looked at it over the next several months and just was constantly reminded of how closely he holds each of us. And it was a source of good reassurance, of assurance for me, that I appreciated. And so today, a year later, about when I was on my morning run again, as I got near that house, I just had a feeling that the acorns would be back out. And so, I looked, and of course they were, and I picked up a couple of them. And as I continued running, one couple things came to mind. One was they're all different. They're all held a little bit differently. They're all different shapes and sizes. And and what I thought was that that's how each of us are too. We all come in different shapes and sizes and backgrounds and hurts and joys, but God holds each one of us the same way, regardless of anything in our past or who we are. So hope that gives somebody a little bit of reassurance. But then it was funny. I picked these up to give them away, but I kept feeling like I was supposed to hold on to one. And I thought, well, why is that? I already have one at home. And then it dawned on me that God, just like these acorns were there year after year, God is the same. He is the same. He loves us the same year after year. He is faithful and he's always there. And these acorns showing up year after year are just one small reminder of that. The third thing that came to mind was I knew, I had to stop and think about why I had picked up the acorn last year and why it had meant something to me. And as I really had to struggle with that thought. What was it that was going on last year that this mattered to me so much? And then I realized that it had been a year since last year had been a year since I had talked with a guy that I had dated previously, and it was a hard time. Thoughts of him kept coming up, and it was hard not to reach out, but I knew that reaching out wasn't good for either of us. And so these acorns brought me a lot of assurance during that time. But what that made me realize was I hadn't thought of him during this time this year. And so, time really had healed that, and I was in a much better place. So breakups are hard relationships are challenging, but just know that you can get through it. So wishing everybody out there healthy and safe relationships. And I hope this has brought you a little bit of comfort and joy today. Take care.